Hey kids, it's time for our weekly devotion for the big idea. It is September the 30th. It's hard to believe that this is our last devotion for the month of September. Today our lesson is going to be about a gentleman named Joshua. So last week we talked about Moses and how he was born and how he was used by God to lead the Egyptians out of slavery. And then we get to the end of Deuteronomy and the beginning of the book of Joshua, and a lot of stuff is going on. And again, I want to remind you to ask your parents about these stories because there's so much to them that it would be worth you asking them to learn about all the things that are going on in the background because we're just covering a little bit. And as always, be sure that you pause the video, do the drawings. Today we have a lot of signs, so I want you to think about on your way to school or to church or wherever it is that you might go, to Hobby Lobby, I don't know. Think about all the signs you see, like stop signs and don't cross signs and duck hunting, bear hunting signs. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. You never know in this area. So we're drawing a lot of signs today. So the first one is the word fear. You're just writing the word fear, drawing a circle around it, and putting a slash through it. And here's what was going on here. So Israel, they were camped out at the Jordan River, and Moses had just passed away, and now Joshua was their leader. And God said something really cool to him. He said, hey, I want you to be strong and courageous. That means be strong and don't be afraid of what I'm about to have you to do. So I don't know about you guys, but I have some things that I'm afraid of. And sometimes I'm afraid to do things that are important, like, maybe tell someone something encouraging, or maybe I need to tell someone I'm sorry. And it's hard to do those things, but God tells us, hey, be strong and courageous, and I'm with you, and I'm going to guide you through it, okay? So then our second picture, we're drawing a danger sign, and we've got some water going on right here, because what's happening here is that the people were ready to enter the promised land, but this river, the Jordan River, was really high, and it would kind of be like me in the ocean. Like, you get out far enough, and next thing you know, you're on your tippy toes, and a wave comes, and you're like, I'm a little short, and I feel like I'm singing, I'm a little teapot. Anyway, you're out in the ocean and you realize I've gone too far. Well, the people were a little scared because, if they got too far in the river, it would overtake them. And so that takes us to picture number 3, which is, I can't reach it from where I'm sitting, but it's a river, and you see a foot over there. It looks like the Tar Heel sign for the UNC Tar Heels. Whoop, whoop. And what is happening here is that God tells the people to follow the ark of the Lord. And what the ark is basically, if you go back to the other books of the Bible, this is one of those really important things that you can ask your parents about that we haven't really covered in our devotions here that we're doing online, is that the Ark of the Covenant, or the Ark of the Lord, held the law, the 10 Commandments that we talked about last week, inside. And so God told the people to follow the ark of the Lord. So these priests and the people carried the ark, they followed those people, and they were able to, just like with the Red Sea, they were able to walk across this river. So once again, we see a cool story about people being able to walk across water, okay? And so then we get to picture number 4, and these are just little stones, little rocks that you can draw and you can decorate however you want. But what's going on here is that each tribe member, each family member, they grabbed a stone from the river, okay? And when the priest stepped out of the river just it crashed and it landed there, and basically it just went back to normal. And it just shows the power of God that would guide these people through the river. And then number 5, you just draw a stop sign, okay? And hopefully when you see these in person, you stop at them for real, okay? So they've entered the promised land, but there's other people living there. And so the Israelites are like, oh no, who are these people? So they have to scope it out. So pictures 6 and 7 are going to go together. So this is picture number 6. It's just a do not enter sign. And this is supposed to be a horn. Like, they don't sound like that. They don't look like that. But just bear with me, okay? Anyway, so the first obstacle they faced when they entered the promised land, they saw this big wall, and it was called Jericho. And so what God told them to do, he said, hey, march around that wall 6 times. And on the 7th time, they would blow this trumpet that kind of looks like bread. They would blow the trumpet, the walls would fall, and then Israel could pass through. And then that leads us to our last picture, which is number 8. And you just write the word problem, draw a circle around it, and slash it. Okay. And so here's what we can learn is that the Israelites trusted God and their problems were solved. Okay. Did every single thing go perfectly and go the way they wanted? Of course not. But when we trust God, young people, when we trust God, we can know that we're going to be taken care of. It might not go exactly the way we want. We might not get things to go exactly, the way we thought it would go, but we can know that our problems will be taken care of because we have a God who loves us and cares about us very, very much. So please, as always, send me the pictures. I love seeing your drawings. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I hope that as September ends, that we get into October, that you continue to know that God loves you and that he cares about everything that's going on in your life.